Good afternoon. Let me begin by thanking each one of you for attending. All of us involved in organizing this event understand how busy each of you are, so we thank you for carving out the time to be here. After speaking with people like yourselves in this industry, we keep hearing the same challenges: time and money. COVID has not helped these problems at all. Being in a kitchen hearing we're short 2, 3, or even 4 staff was not uncommon. Actually, it was the norm. Long before COVID had ever heard of COVID, shrinking budgets and increasing costs were always an issue. This is why we are here today. Utilizing the Internet of Things, we're excited to show you a solution for both of these issues. The industrial Internet of Things is the latest tech that is incredibly beneficial, yet at the same time, simple and cost efficient. I guess a great place to begin is to ask, what is the Internet of Things? The simplest explanation is the connectivity of a device to the Internet. Now think of it this way. How many of you right now are connected to something? Look at your cell phone. I know we all have one of those on our hips. How many apps or services do you have that connect to devices? I can open my garage door, lock my front door, change my thermostat, or even turn on my Christmas lights. A few years ago, we didn't consider these as smart devices. Now, as wireless power has increased, we can now add sensors to almost any dumb device to allow real-time monitoring and take that a step further and even create automation. And it's not limited by size. Something as small as a pill or even as big as an airplane can be connected. Something you will be able to do and find very useful is that real-time monitoring. But more than that, create compliance reports using this historical data. Now, the value of data cannot be stressed enough. The more of it you have, the more informed you are about your organization and the more informed decisions that you can make. So now you have a pretty good idea of what the Internet of Things is in a macro sense. What about micro? What about each one of you? How can it make your life easier? I'm going to bring in Shawn German now to tell us more about the WatchNet Industrial Internet of Things. Shawn, the floor, or in this case, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the introduction, and thank you to Alarm Systems for hosting this event. I think in Jonathan's opening, he really unpacked and covered what the idea of IoT is. So what we're going to do is dig a little bit into the technology and how that's useful to you, the user, each day. So my goal here today is to tackle a couple of things. One is compliance. I think this is a huge part of day-to-day life in your industry. Also want to talk about pre-failure intervention, reducing downtime for your facilities, reduce or eliminate food spoilage, and how does all of this combined save you time and money? So these are the things I want to tackle. And let's start with right now with what in the world is a WatchNet IoT sensor? So let's start with that. What it is that it's a sensor. So you can see here, since we're mostly dealing with, today, we're going to be mostly discussing refrigeration and food spoilage as being some critical items. This is what a standard temperature sensor would look like for a refrigerator. So here we've got your little probe that's doing all the detection of temperature and humidity. It's not a very large unit. You can see here compared to an iPhone, for example, right? About half the size, a little bit thicker. Nice thing about these devices is that they are wireless. So right out of the gate, we're lowering your overall cost for install, right? To implement this solution, you literally have a wireless device. No wires need to be run to get you up and running. And because they're wireless, they run on battery. And we're looking at a 3 to 5 year battery life on these units. So very simple to replace batteries with the 4 screws on the front here. Pop the cover open, replace your 2 batteries inside, and you're good to go for another 3 to 5 years. So really, really nice and simple installation and setup. All of those devices, and we have hundreds of sensors, all of those devices have to go back and communicate to a gateway. So we have 2 gateways. I'm going to show you one of our smaller units today. This would be our small gateway. This is what all of those devices will communicate to. So they'll all communicate wirelessly back to this unit. This unit is tied into your network connection. And with that network connection, if you have an internet connection on your network, this will transmit directly into our cloud service. And then through our cloud, we'll be able to pull the data from each device, So that way you have real knowledge of what's happening in your facility. So we have that. Now, what I'd like to do is quickly share my screen here and show you what the dashboard looks like, what the data looks like, as well as give you an idea of how the whole interface works. So this is what it looks like when you first log in. You're going to see the main dashboard, which in this case, I'll just click on our main dashboard here so you can see what that looks like. It'll show you everything from how many gateways you have that are receiving the signals, and any control or sensor devices, the total amount of sensors that you have at the site. If you have any alarms, any systems offline, any non-critical alarms, things that are happening that you should also take a look at. And then you can also set up your favorite sensor to be your first sensor viewed for login. And you can see here, we have an air quality sensor in our boardroom. And this one has temperature, humidity, and parts per million of air quality. So it'll tell you what's happening within the facility. And you can easily just scroll along the day and see all the different temperatures and events. So we created a simple and easy to use dashboard for you, the user. The key here is we're trying to gain data metrics. So we're trying to understand how your refrigerators are operating, how your freezers are operating, and what we can do to alert you in the event of a situation that happens on site. So as many of you know, I mean, a refrigerator today has a fan built in on the bottom to help for all the cooling and so forth. That fan can get clogged with dust, which will all of a sudden create poor cooling for the refrigerator. So we're able to pick up on all of these little data points and then alert you, the user. So let's say the refrigerator is not cooling properly. We can alert you via a text, email, phone call, straight through our cloud platform directly to you. If for any reason the refrigerator has failed and the temperature in the refrigerator is slowly creeping up, we can set alarm thresholds so that when the refrigerator that's normally sitting at 5 degrees Celsius, if all of a sudden it bumps itself up to 8 degrees Celsius, we can go ahead and send you an alert straight to your cell phone instantly. Our goal here is to make you reactive to a situation as it happens in real time. So you're not dealing with it, coming in the next morning and, oh, I wish I would have known overnight that was a critical issue. So we're helping you be reactive to a situation because, as you know, downtime with anything in the food related services is horrible, because now you're dealing with a refrigerator, spoilage, you got to get rid of the food, rebuy food. It's a big drain on resources. Now, aside from monitoring the refrigerator, and there's a couple ways we can monitor the refrigerator. One is temperature sensor inside. Another is a door contact sensor. So we can actually keep track if the door is left open, or if it's left open too long, we can let you know, the user. And we can also monitor the power consumption of the refrigerator. If the refrigerator starts to draw more power than it used to in the past, we can let you know that as well, and also set alarms and trigger points. So you can see here, if I go to my device list, you have a vast array of sensors in our office right now, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. If I click on our freezer, which actually right now I have this sensor in a storage room, which is not in a refrigerated environment, but I can go in here, remove a couple of metrics here really quick just to see the temperature. And you can see just by hovering the mouse over here, I'm getting it both in Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's totally adjustable. And the key here is, how am I going to save you some time and money? So the way I'm going to achieve this is, in many environments, including probably yours, the sites that I've been to, they have a lot of those clipboards hanging on the side of a refrigerator. And that clipboard has a sign-up sheet. The person will initial, set the time that they were there, and also track the temperature of the refrigerator or freezer. What this does, well, number one, it involves a person to have to do it. So it's a human thing. The second is it takes time. And the third is, I think right now, especially right now, I feel like everyone is short-staffed. So everyone is in a situation where they don't have enough resources. So if we can eliminate the need for someone to go out and do these things, and just have the ability to print off a compliance report after the fact, Great. If something fails, we can give you a notification right away. So you're not losing compliance in the moment because you're going to have the ability to check on the situation when it occurs. But we can give you the compliance part of it at the end of the week, at the end of the month, where you can go ahead and print off the reports. So I want to show you what that looks like. You can see here from our device tree, one of the things we have under the reports tab here is we actually have a compliance tab. So you simply click on the compliance tab. And I've got it set to a custom right now. So I'm pulling data from the 17th all the way to the 24th. And I'm going to select which refrigerator or freezer I'm looking for. So I'm going to select the freezer. I've already created a custom template. You can do this as well. Maybe you need 4 entries a day. Maybe you need 6 or 8 entries a day. If you need to pull the data every 3 hours, every 4 hours, somebody should be checking. It's totally customizable to what your needs are. And then I simply hit generate. And just like that, we've got the full report for all of those dates. And you can see here, it's all incremented. So we have 3 p.m., 82 degrees, 6 p.m., 80.64 degrees, 9 a.m., and it just keeps bouncing from every single day because I had the time set from a 9 a.m. period to a 6 p.m. period. So once we've got that report generated, we've got 2 options that we can do with that report. The first option is we can export it in an Excel file. Very usable for everyone. And we can also export it as a PDF. And if you wanted a PDF, maybe with your company logo on it and just keeping track of your PDFs, this is a beautiful design. We can, of course, put your logo on the PDF. Here's what they look like. When you click on the export as PDF, it'll have your company logo. It'll have all of the information about who should be emailed at the top right corner. And then you have your devices here. You can see we've got 1 freezer in this case is what I ran the report for. And I have the data points right here. So my data points are between -10 Fahrenheit and -30. That's when I want to get alerts. So we log that on your report to tell you that that's what you're looking for, your min and your max on your temperature swings. And you can see here, you get all of your data nicely listed to be able to pass that to anybody in your jurisdiction that needs to get these reports. So saving you time and staff to go out and do this. One of our great installs that went fantastic is a large meat refrigeration and freezing company in Mississauga called Brant Meats. You may have heard of them. They're huge. And one of the things is, I mean, they have a huge compliance that they have to follow, and we were saving them tens of thousands of dollars per year. So the way that we were saving them all the time and money is they had 3 shifts per day. And during those 3 shifts, they had to go and check the temperatures. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 hours, but in that window, every 3 or 4 hours. So they were doing anywhere from 6 to 8 cycles of walkthrough in a warehouse. And these warehouses are huge. So it would take the person approximately 30 minutes. By the time they did the walk around, they went and had a coffee, probably chatted with the staff. It takes time, right? You're not just getting out of your chair and doing a walk around. So they were estimating about 30 minutes per walk around. And over the year, we estimated we were saving them about $23,000 to $24,000 a year in raw cost just on labor. Aside from having the knowledge of an alert or an event that's happening within their refrigeration units, and save them time where that employee can now be way more useful in their day-to-day job because they have that extra 2 hours a day per shift where they're not doing a walk around. So now they're getting more productivity out of that employee on top of a normal day. So it was a win-win all the way around. The system paid for itself within 3 months, and we had a really satisfied user. That's the key here, is having a satisfied user that's super happy with what we're providing for them. So I hope you can see in that scenario how we're saving you time. Hopefully we're saving you downtime because you're getting the alerts that you need to take care of the things instantly as you need to take care of them. And lastly, the compliance. This is a big key, and I'm hoping that you can see from how we're doing that within the cloud platform, the ease of that and the ability for you, the user, to get that data anytime you need it.